Let's go through this properly so that people
Yeah.
are completely clear.
So Beat Junkies was formed in 1992, founded by J-Rock.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get that straight. That's why we call him the
Hold tight,
Funky President.
J-Rock.
Right. The original members are Jay,
1,
DJ Curse,
2,
Mello, and
3,
myself.
4.
So those are the original members, and then originally then Icy Ice, Symphony, who's Icy Ice's sister. So it was we had a female member.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
And then Shortcut, D Styles.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know that Short and D were Junkies before they were Pickles.
Didn't
members.
know that.
Yeah, they became Junkie. They were Junkies before become Pickle members. Then Tommy Gunn.
Yeah.
DJ What.
There you go.
And then the two last members to join was Babs, Babu, and Mr. Chalk. And then a lot of, here's a little tidbit, because some people heard about it and we talk about it once in a while.
Yeah.
At one point, we had DJ Rectangle for a hot minute.
I remember. Now there was something about it. It would actually have been weird if he hadn't. To be fair.
Yeah, I mean he was for a hot minute, and then we had another cat named Sweet Pea and stuff like that. But but the members I've mentioned, there's 13 of us and stuff. So yeah, that's again being around people and stuff. So with the Junkies and stuff, being around people that's good, it pushes you like that. So
yeah,
and knock on wood, I think like we've been, the Junkies have been, we're very lucky that we're considered part of the top 3 crews of turntablism, I guess.
Yeah.
The history of turntable, right? So,
yeah.
But to me, is like our biggest accomplishments is that we're still a crew.
We're
still friends.
That's right.
Compared to the Pickles and the X-Men or Executioners.
Yeah.
Right.
All the perverts who have all suffered in different ways in not being able to stay.
Right. So, but I mean, like any crews, we had our own internal beefs. I wouldn't say beefs, but like internal conflicts and whatnot.
Yeah. But
for the most part, like in some ways, and this is from my collection, my memories. So I'm sure some of the guys might have different sizes. But for me,
yeah.
I've always looked like out of the top 3 that everybody would always go to the Pickles or the Executioners, right? When it comes to for the 3 crews, and we're like like whatever for the third, and it's kind of interesting because the Pickles were straight scratching, the Executioners were straight beat jugglers.
That's right, and
we were in between.
Do you think that saved the situation, that allowed you guys to flourish? That it was almost like the pressure wasn't on you to be East Coast, West Coast kings or whatever, because there's always been a reliability. Like you say, you guys are all so well-rounded. There's a strong reliability in that.
Well, there was a couple of things I like to think, in my humble personal opinion, is that, one is that we weren't as popular. So like it used to kind of fuck with us in our heads. Like,
really?
How come you're like, I mean, considering like certain things that we've done, we worked hard, but we get glossed over.
Do you think there was a DMC thing?
I don't know. It doesn't.
That you weren't.
I don't know. It's just certain things. It's just certain things that we always kind of like. You're like, why? And at the same time, it's like, hey, everyone's gonna pick their favorites, whatever. It's like the same thing. At one point, like I'm probably even to this day, I probably might be the least favorite Junkie, right? At one point, everybody used to
bollocks.
He
says in his thickest English accent.
At one point, everybody used to say, like especially when the height of turntablism, everybody looked at Jay like he can't really, like he's not, like he's not doing all the crazy juggles and scratches and shit, But what people don't understand with Jay is that like when we did our tune routines, he put the funk into like he helped us like, yo, we should do this that, like he was that. He was the funk that gave us the funk and shit like that. Yeah. Our style of mixing is because of Jay. When we say Beat Junkies style of mixing, that's because of Jay. You know, he's James Brown on turntables.
Man.
Like this guy he can take any record. You give him any record, can fuck it without even being marked. Never heard it before, and can fuck that shit up, mix it the way he wants it. I mean, he might not be on some technical, like doing the, doing like whatever, eighth note quarter beat juggles or hydroplaning to boomerang scratches and shit like that. But I mean, we came up with the term trip mixing, but it's really, we call it just DJing. But it's just, when people started putting labels on names on certain techniques and stuff.
Yeah.
So we kind of like, fuck it. Let's get our mark. Let's get, like that trick mixing, Beat Junkie style trick mixing.
I felt like you guys were like, I mean, this is purely from my positioning geographically and in the depths of the culture. Right. You were like a here's the best way to describe it. You guys were an organization, and the feel that you guys came as a crew on, like you say, there's like 13 plus. You rolled like, like you get those graffiti crews, which right. The crew mentality. It felt like you can't fuck with the Beat Junkies. Do you know what I mean? Because there's just too many of them.
It helped us a lot. It's like a lot of us were, became really friends because of DJing, hip hop and shit. Like, like for me, like Curse. I mentioned Curse. Curse is like
he's your mentor, oldest. Right?
Yeah, he's the oldest, and I'm the second oldest. Yeah. And then it'll be between me and it'll be Curse, myself. What's like kind of the same age as me. Chalk's a year after me and stuff like that. So, Curse. I've said this in many interviews and stuff. So Curse is I went to high school with him and stuff.
That's crazy.
And he's half Filipino, half white. Right. So, in many sense, he was my Qbert before Qbert came into play. Because during those times in the 80s and stuff like that, again, you got to remember, hip hop is a predominantly Black and Latino culture scene. There's just in terms of what was going on and stuff, and especially in LA or Southern California and LA, a lot of Asians, especially Filipinos, were very active in the hip hop culture. I mean, if anyone that came up, you did at least 2 to 3 out of the 4 elements, right?
Yeah.
Asians were not very outspoken, but so there weren't really many Asian MCs, but there were a lot of DJs. There were a lot of b-boy poppers, dancers, a lot of graph artists and stuff.
Oh my God.
Right. So I did 3 of those and stuff. So, and then, because I can't rap for shit. I can't even rap guess good either. So there you go.
Listen, you make up for on so many other levels, brother.
But what I was trying to say, so Kurt, Curtis was like, again, I learned a lot just watching him, because the fact that he was respected within with the Black and Latino communities. Because at the time, it's like, I hate to say it on some 8 Mile shit. You had to,
go for yours.
You had to really, get that respect. And really do. I mean, sure, you deal with some of the stereotypes, like, hey, what's this Chinese guy? I'm not even Chinese, but what's this Chinese guy trying to do and shit? Once you showed them proof, they're like, shit,
Yeah.
So there's a duality to it and stuff like that, and even even within the Filipino, the Asian community, Filipino community, again, Asians in the West Coast have been involved in the hip hop culture for such a long time, since the 80s.
Yeah.
But it was also a bubble, during those times, it was segregated in some ways, it's just like Asians would hang out, even though they're in hip hop, but there was also a glass ceiling and shit.
Yeah.
And for me, I was like, and Curse was able to break all of that shit and stuff like that, get that respect, because he was wrong. Cool. He got that respect and shit. I was like, yo, he was it's one thing hearing mixes on the radio. It's one thing hearing scratches or whatever on records and shit. But And I've seen other DJs like, but he, for me personally, was to see someone that had my skin color, background, whatever, and to see him cut it up. He was the first person to actually see him like cutting it up.
That must have changed your whole life, bro.
Oh fuck yeah, fuck my head up.
Yeah.